Three news stories for you. Firstly, Sudan has been suspended by African Union. Just a few minutes ago, African Union issued a statement. It suspended Sudan. Secondly, US Embassy in Eritrea has issued a statement about Badme, disputed territory between Eritrea and Tigray. What is the statement? And thirdly, humanitarian disaster in Tigray and in Amhara is in the news. It's not a news, but now aid agencies are saying they don't see the possibility of people surviving in Tigray if the situation goes on. And same is the case in some parts of Amhara where no aid is arriving, people are dying, viewers. We'll talk about that. I have a video clip as well for you. Firstly, Sudan has been suspended, viewers. African Union just a few minutes ago made this announcement. African Union says until democratic institutions are restored, Sudan will remain suspended. It will not be able to participate in any African Union activities. Burhan staged a coup in Sudan 3 days ago. He says it's not a coup, it's a transition to democracy. He will lead the country to democracy. But it's a coup because cabinet dissolved, sovereignty council dissolved. Now Sudan is being led by army chief. So it's definitely a coup, viewers. No one knows what will happen in coming days. That is why international community, EU, US, UN, they are calling it a coup. But his Arab allies, Egypt, UAE, Saudi Arabia, we haven't seen the use of word coup from these three countries. Ethiopia also in a statement did not use the word coup. But most of international community is calling it a coup. It's a coup. So a step in the right direction by African Union that Sudan has been suspended. Secondly, viewers, Badme, a disputed territory between Tigray and Eritrea, but the US is throwing its weight behind Eritrea. US Embassy in Eritrea has issued a statement about Badme. The statement says that in 2002, Ethiopian Eritrean Boundary Commission was established, which granted Badme and other associated areas to Eritrea. Then in 2018, peace agreement was signed between Eritrea and Ethiopia, and the decision of 2002 decision of Boundary Commission was upheld. And US Embassy says that the two governments, Eritrea and Ethiopia, should take steps to ensure the implementation of 2002 Boundary Commission decision. So US is backing 2002 Boundary Commission decision, according to which Badme was awarded to Eritrea. Eritrea, Eritrean government and US Embassy in Eritrea, they have been at odds over the past few weeks. They have issued very strong statements against each other. There was some exchange of strong language as well. But on the issue of Badme, US Embassy in Eritrea is backing Eritrean position. Thirdly, viewers, humanitarian situation in Tigray and Amhara is catastrophic now. We have talked about that in several previous videos. Executive Director of World Food Program in a program said, I don't see the people of Tigray survive. That sums up the situation in Tigray. He says no fuel for WFP staff, no cash, no aid entering Tigray. I don't know how people are eating, what they are eating. So on the ground in Tigray, there is no aid arriving. And he says that there is no possibility of people surviving in Tigray. What about Amhara? Well, in some parts of Amhara, where fighting is going on, where people are trapped, similar scenes are being seen. In Lalibela, today we heard from a journalist that there is acute shortage of food, like there is shortage of food in Tigray. In Wog Himra, in North Wallo, situation is the same. Humanitarian disaster which was in Tigray, it has definitely spread across Amhara, Wog Himra, North Wallo. It's creeping into South Wallo now. People are suffering, viewers. All of us who are involved in this war, who are covering this war, who are backing one or the other party, they must call for peace. People are dying of hunger. Tens of thousands will die of hunger, viewers. I've been saying that for several weeks, that this disaster will gradually engulf entire Ethiopia. It was in Tigray, it's in Amhara, it's partly in Afar too. If fighting goes on, TDF goes past Dasi, Kambolcha, you'll see more disaster, humanitarian crisis in Amhara. It could spread into Oromia as well. There is already a drought in Oromia, in Borana. Locust attacks are being feared in Amhara and Tigray as well. So you see that all this indicates that people will die in large numbers if better sense did not prevail. Please call for peace, all of you. Watch a video showing WFP Executive Director David Beasley describing the situation in Tigray. Thank you for watching.
Ethiopia was moving in the right direction, and now we're barely getting enough trucks into the Tigray northern Ethiopian area. Maybe to support 15% of the people. I don't know where they're getting the food from. Hopefully we're going to come out of the field in the next few weeks showing the reality that exists, but there's no way that the people are surviving there. We're out of fuel, we're out of cash in terms of paying our people, and we're running out of money, and we can't get our trucks in. I had literally 10 trucks that would provide the fuel that we need to push food and medicines out there for a solid 2 weeks. Just for 2 weeks, 10 trucks. Been sitting at a checkpoint, guess how long? 2 months.
2 months?
Months.
And you run the fuel, as I understand it, for other agencies?
So we move the fuel for other agencies that are also feeding people, providing medical care, all the humanitarian needs, and the people that are in crisis because the economy there is completely shut down because of the war. Everybody's to blame. There's no doubt about it. And for us not even to be able to get our fuel trucks in, this is disgraceful.
What do you understand to have happened late last week with the UN flight that was rerouted back from Mekelle? What happened?
Well, we fly at WFP, we call it UNHAS, flies from Addis into Mekelle, and that's where we deliver our humanitarians and cash to pay our humanitarians and workers on the ground there. And the flight had been, because we deconflict, we work in war zones. We know how to do this. We do it all the time, whether it's Yemen, Syria, doesn't matter. So we're pros, experts of working in combat areas. We deconflict, all sides are put on notice, they agree, the plane's flying in, it's a few minutes for landing, and guess what? Boom. There's an explosion on the ground right near the airport, a military strike. I mean, come on. You knew our plane was in the air. How can this happen? Obviously, abort, and we go back to Addis Ababa. What if our plane had been shot out of the air, intentionally or unintentionally? This is reckless. It's a reckless disregard of the humanitarian needs on the ground by all sides.